Am I the a-hole for deciding to no longer go around my mother-in-law until she grows up? I, 23F, and my boyfriend, 21M, have come to somewhat of an understanding, but let me get to the main points that made me finally make this decision. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 4 years. We went to the same high school and grew up with the same friend groups. We got introduced by mutual friends who were dating and have been together ever since. We have been through a lot together. I have a severe autoimmune disorder, and I regularly get checkups by specialists to keep my health in tip-top shape. Now, if I told you guys all the messed up things she's done to me throughout the years Eve been around, we would be here all day, but let me tell you guys what the final straw was. So last year in November, just before my mom's birthday and before my birthday and Christmas, my birthday is in December, my grandmother passed away. Me and my grandmother were extremely close. We baked together, and I was the only granddaughter she ever fully allowed in her kitchen. My grandmother was very specific about her cooking, and I was the one grandchild she truly didn't mind teaching to cook because since I was little I just always wanted to help. When she passed, my heart broke. It was like time stopped and I lost a piece of myself. My father was a deadbeat, and my grandma and great-grandparents were the ones who did their best to give me a good childhood. When my father picked and chose when to be around, my mother also did her best to protect me and give me a childhood, and me and my mother have a great mother-daughter relationship. Now back to where I finally kinda lost my shit. Once I got that call, I dropped and just cried for hours. A few days went by, and I still took my mother out to eat for her birthday. She knew I was going through a loss still, and I had moments where I did have to excuse myself to get my emotions, crying, under control. A few weeks passed by, and only my mom and man were there for me. My mother-in-law never once said my condolences, never asked how I was doing, never checked in on me. I've been with her son, 21M, for 4 years this New Year's. I also have been by her side and traveled to Mexico with her and my sister-in-laws and my boyfriend for multiple of their family funerals. The second they asked me to come with them, I didn't hesitate, and I went, and whenever she got super drunk, we carried her to the car and held her while she cried and made sure she was okay while grieving. I'm not saying she owes me anything. I'm not saying she had to come with me all the way across country to my hometown for a funeral or anything like that. All I wanted from her was a simple "I'm sorry for you" loss. That's it. Instead, I got radio silence until she needed something from me. Through these last a little over 3.5 years. The other little incidents that build up to this include, first year of me and him together, she got drunk and told me in front of my man's cousin, 22F, "If you ever had a kid with my son, I don't know if I'd accept it." She said it in a way where even his cousin pulled me to the side and apologized for her behavior. That same night, I was the one who carried her up 2 flights of stairs, helped her into bed, put a glass of water on her bedside table and some Tylenol for her along with a pack of her favorite crackers, so she would have it all by her whenever she got up hungover. That's just one of many incidents from the first year. Second year into dating the year, I finally got her son to quit drinking. He still vaped, but I at least got him to stop drinking 3 to 4 full-sized Buchanan's bottles a day, something she let him drink regularly throughout his teen days. Don't get me started on it. He went from heavily drinking as a teen to now we only occasionally drink a beer or a shot here or there, but we both never get drunk at all. My father was an addict and me and my fiancé both have addicts in our family. So we mutually agreed we don't like how alcohol can affect our families, so we chose to go cold turkey. Year 2 of me and my 21M boyfriend dating, she tried to smack me for not reminding her of my birthday, when I had already been around for 2 years and gotten gifts for her and her kids for all their birthdays for 2 years in a row now. She still refused to put in any effort to remember my birthday, but rather got upset with me that I didn't remind her, as if it was my responsibility. Mind you, she also always calculatedly does this type of behavior whenever my boyfriend isn't around, but my boyfriend's 22F cousin has witnessed a few instances of her behavior towards me. I'm also someone who always did something small for my birthday, just a small family dinner. Nothing crazy, and since my 21st, I haven't really wanted to fully celebrate my birthday, especially when during year 3 of being with my 21M boyfriend. When I lost my grandma, I really didn't want to celebrate. I just went through old photos of me baking with my grandma and decorating cupcakes and just being around her and my cousins. I'm not gonna lie, my grandma passing really smacked me hard. To this day I cry randomly when I think of her, just wishing she could have stayed around until I had my first kid. But I know she probably was excited. She already had a play date with my first 2 little ones up there, taking care of them until I joined them up there one day. Back to the point. Sorry if you can't tell, I'm still grieving as I type this, but it's also because I really want to know, am I the a-hole? So after she tried to smack me, I caught her hand mid-air before she could smack me, and I looked at her and tilted my head to the side confused. "Were you really gonna fucking do that?" I said to her taken aback, and she stayed quiet, pulled her hand away, and tried to change the subject. She continued to get drunk that year, if not daily, every other day, and say extremely fucked up things to me in front of everyone else except my boyfriend. My boyfriend's female cousin, who had witnessed it before, had finally said something to my man one day when me and her were talking before this Christmas that just passed, and she said to my man, "Do you realize how fucked up your mom treats her when you're not around?" He just stayed quiet and listened as his cousin kind went in on how fucked up my mother-in-law, 38F, treats me. When I lost my grandma, I made one post, and then went radio silent, making a small honorary post for the loss of my grandma, posting some of my memories with my grandma and how I miss her so much. I didn't get not one my condolences from his mom, so I decided to spend Christmas with my mom and little sister and my dog. My mother-in-law asked my boyfriend to come over their house with our dog, so I compromised and said he could take our dog, but I didn't want our dog just locked outside or locked up. She's well behaved, and just because she's a big breed doesn't mean she only belongs outside. My mother-in-law believes big dogs only belong outside, even if it's over 100 degrees in weather. She doesn't care. She will leave the dogs outside, at least any she's owned. So I'm with my mom and sister enjoying our time together when I get a call from my boyfriend telling me his mom was asking me to come because she got me a gift. Mind you, I purchased her Christmas gift months early because I remembered when she told me earlier the year prior that she really wanted this one perfume, so I got her that perfume. I did a cute little present inside a present setup and put little twist-up butterflies inside each little layer, so as she opened up the gift, little butterflies would fly out. The perfume was about $200 with taxes. I didn't care about the cost, I just got it because I remembered her saying she wanted it, so I got her the largest size I could find of it, that way it would last her a little while. After she convinced my man they had gotten me a meaningful gift, I finally agreed to only go over for a little due to only majority having bad experiences around his mom, because it's his mom. My boyfriend and my mom have such a good bond. I just sometimes with my mother-in-law would mature and realize I'm not in a competition with her. Anyway, my boyfriend convinces me saying she said her and Rose. I made this name up to keep this anonymous. My boyfriend's younger sister got you a gift and they really want you to come. I get it if you don't want to. I didn't really want to, but I really love my man and I wanted to have a good relationship with my mother-in-law, but after this, no thank you. I get there a little before midnight. They open presents right at midnight for Christmas. I go in and don't see my dog outside or in the house, and already I'm slightly irritated and I ask, "Where's my dog?" They proceed to tell me that Rose's dog growled at my dog, so they locked my dog up even though my dog was behaving and only wanted to play outside. They locked my dog up because Rose's dog was in the house, and they let her dog be aggressive and don't put in the work to train their dog to be nice around other non-threatening animals. My dog, 1-year-old Great Dane, Rose's dog, slightly older Cane Corso. I was already a little irritated about that, so while everyone stayed inside, I went to the garage where my dog was locked up in a crate, and I went in to spend time with her until it was time for presents. Now my two sister-in-laws are young. The oldest of the two little sisters is only 19, the youngest 14 at this point. They both had boyfriends who were here for Christmas as well. They got boxes of Pro Club sweats and shirts, clothes I also wear all the time around them all. Jewelry, the whole 9 yards. Things that actually had thought in them. Me, I like cooking, painting, and photography. I have a little Polaroid film, costs about $19.99 for a 2-pack at Walmart. Canvases I used cost less than $10 each. Cooking-wise, Eve asked her for an apron before. What did I get? A see-through $10 pajama set and a robe, about $8. Now I don't care about the price of the items. My issue is I know there was little to no thought into these two small gifts that I opened in one box, and I just sat there while everyone was continuing to open the multiple presents they got everyone else, and when she opened her gift, I got her all I got was a nice. Then they moved on, not a thank you, nothing like that. Everyone still had lots to open, so I excused myself and spent the rest of the time there with my dog in the garage, and my man came out and apologized to me and asked if I wanted to leave. He said, "I'm sorry, she made me think she actually put some effort into it this year. I'm sorry, babe." We say our byes and get my dog out of the crate and take her home. I cry in my car on the way home in silence. He was driving separately in his own car and me in my own car because I was originally having a great Christmas with just my mom and my sister. I tell him when we get home after I had wiped away my tears from my car ride home. "I know it's your mom and I still want you to go be around her because it's your mom, but me, I'm done. I've put in as much effort as I can with your mom and you know it." He stayed quiet and nodded, agreeing that I did put in a lot of effort with his mom. That same night I blocked her and haven't spoken to her since. We also agreed I'm not going for any holidays, but if he wants to go I encourage him to still go spend time with his family because his mom loves always saying since the first year that I stole her baby. Thankfully for my Christmas with my mom and my man and my little sister, my mom and my man pitched in together and got me a camera for my photography. My mom opens presents on Christmas morning. My mom hugged me and said next year to just stay with her, and my sister and I agreed because we were actually having a good Christmas together, and I finally wasn't crying anymore. Then I fucked up and chose to give my mother-in-law the benefit of the doubt that maybe, because I had just suffered a pretty big loss, that maybe she would actually be somewhat caring towards me. How Eve been to her, but I learned that you can put in so much effort on your end for someone, but it's up to them if they want to reciprocate or not. I can't make her be nice to me or even respect me if she chooses not to. That's up to her, but me, I will continue to have my boyfriend's back and support if he wants to see her. But after he saw clearly how she treated me, he's decided to only go over if she asks him to. He doesn't put in an effort much anymore, even though I always support him with whatever he chooses. And even sometimes I tell him, it's your mom, you should check in on her. He does, but I can tell he doesn't like how she treats me either. And lately, since we've been living together the past year in the house I own with my mom, my man and my mom have built the cutest mother-in-law and sister-in-law relationship ever. They joke around and chase each other in supermarkets or even Walmart. They joke around with each other. Ever since we kind of removed ourselves from his mom's side, we have been actually doing a lot better in our relationship. It makes me sad, but it's not like I gave him an ultimatum or try to keep him from his mom. He just chooses to be with my family because in my house with my mom, we don't yell, we communicate. If you do want to yell, you either yell outside one big HHHHH, or we take a moment to gather ourselves, then we come back all together and we communicate to each other. My mom always says she's trying her best to break our toxic Hispanic family's old toxic ways of communication. Versus his mom's house, it's always yelling and fighting, sometimes even physical fights between his two sisters. Ever since I made the decision to block my mother-in-law after giving her that chance during Christmas, after losing that last really close grandparent I had, we have actually been doing great. So am I the a-hole for finally blocking my mother-in-law until she decides to grow up and realize I'm not trying to steal her son? If this story kept you hooked, give it a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more.